Take two. Okay, there you go. Did you know that there are government and state healthcare contracts available right now, but many healthcare business owners never apply because they think the process is too complicated? What if your next major client was a government contract? Guys, welcome to our Nurse Founder Forum live chat here at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm Christopher Waikoko, the current chairman for the Nurse Founder Forum. I'd like you to comment below what state you're listening from or city and then your profession, as we're going to dive deeper on how and what are the basic requirements to get this government contract for healthcare, and who knows that this will be your next or triple the income of your company on the next few months. Just stay tuned for the next few minutes. But this won't be possible without my co host for today, our subject matter expert, a consultant for government contract. Let us all welcome Miss Lashonda Griffin.
Hi, how are you guys? Hope you had a happy Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, yeah, happy Memorial Day weekend. What did you do yesterday?
What did I do yesterday? I worked.
hmm I know, right? Like as a business owner, there's no clock in, clock out, no holidays, no PTOs. We're
Nope.
always on the go. That's why we're trying to bring as many valuable insights and information for our viewers out there. So, guys, this conversation is whether you own a home health agency, staffing company, billing company, healthcare consulting business, or service in the healthcare industry. This conversation can open your eyes to new opportunities for growth. So before anything else, I would like to go get to know more up close and personal about Miss Lashanda. How did you start with this business?
So I was in education for about 30 years and I was looking for an exit strategy. Didn't realize I was all the way looking for an exit strategy, but I was. And I had a friend that was flipping houses at the time and wanted to start a construction company so that they could actually do government contracts. So he decided, okay, he wants to start an LLC. He is a
Mm-hmm.
veteran, get all the certifications so that he can start doing government contracts. So he asked me to take that on, which I would explain to him. I was like, I know nothing about government contracts. I'm an educator. I don't know. He said, well, I think that you'd be the perfect person to learn. So I took a class, went to some workshops, and then I learned. So we basically took him from going to being a house flipper to we
Mm-hmm.
started the LLC. We then got him all of his government small business certifications and veteran certifications, got him
Mm-hmm.
registered in the vendor portals so that he can do federal, state, and local bidding on government contracts. And then we learned how to bid on government contracts. And then once I did it from him from beginning to end, he said to me, the name of that company is Edge Pro
Mm-hmm.
Contractors. It's a construction company.
Mm-hmm.
It was, well, now that you've done that for us, you need to make your own company and do that for others. And so I thought, you know what? Why not? So that's literally what I did. I thought I just went from helping students, young adults, to now helping adults start their business, get their certifications, and bid on government contracts.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you mentioned about the certifications. What are the different certifications that somebody need to have if it's a woman, minority, veteran?
Right. There's small business. There's the SBE that's going to be your small business enterprise. There's the minority and woman certification. If you're a veteran, there's a veteran certification. There's a service disabled veteran certification. There's new certifications that are SBE plus, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's SBEC, which is the service. Sorry, excuse me, small business enterprise concession,
Enterprise.
which is that
Mm.
you do airport work.
Oh, wow. Okay, the bigger. Okay. So,
Yes.
why is it so important to have the certifications?
So certifications are important because they basically let the government know that your company is certified, not self-certified. So though
Mm-hmm.
I'm a woman, when I first started my company, I could say, "Oh, I own a woman-owned company," but that was me self-certifying. I needed a small business SBA to say that I was a woman-owned company. And one of the other reasons why they are important is because you get what's called set aside. So what that means is if a business is awarded a contract. In that contract, it may be said that NTTA may tell whoever is awarded that contract that you have to give 30% of the work to maybe it says a small business, maybe it says a
Yes.
minority business, maybe it says a woman owned business. So whoever is awarded that contract, they are required to set aside 30% or 35%, whatever the contract says, to one of those certified companies based on what the certification is. So
Hmm.
that basically is a heads up.
Yeah. So basically, in other words, guys, for those viewer out there, it actually help you the higher chance to get the contract because the more certifications you get, because it's true that if you have more, you can have more certifications than one.
Yes.
Okay. So like if you're a minority, you're a woman, you're a veteran, is there I'm wondering if there's like disability or there's no
A service
certification.
disabled veteran.
Oh,
There's
there's one.
multiple small business. Yes, there's
Mm-hmm.
Vet Hub. I mean, there is quite a few certifications, and that's nationwide. Those
Mm-hmm.
that I named were just nationwide. There are also sometimes there are certifications that are specific to your state.
Right. So basically, if do they need to have a certain number of peers or type of structure on their company that they need before even start the certifications?
No, the certifications are each have their own qualifications, but even for Edge Pro, that construction company, when I started them, they started from the literally as soon as they became an LLC, we went ahead and started their certification process.
Okay, that's good. So it means to say even your startup company, and I think that's one of the biggest misconception of other healthcare business. Oh, they need to be somewhere like two more than years before they start. But you were saying that even if it's a startup company, they can start processing.
Correct. Those
Mm-hmm.
certifications that I named, there are certifications that do require you to be in business for 2 or more years. But for the ones that I stated, as soon as you start your business, you have your business bank account, all the things that you can prove that you're a business, everything that you have to prove that you're a minority that they're going to ask for, because it is a long list. Then at that point, you absolutely can begin the certification process.
Okay, that's good to know, guys. So whether you are in a home health, whether you are a staffing agency, so because I know that every year, as I'm doing tax return of every companies that we work with, the healthcare more than 10 states, we
Mhm.
saw a lot of 1099 contracts because they got the project, right? And this is something that a lot of people, for me, like for me, I would rather go with this rather than digital ads because so many contracts are being given by the government. It's $1 billion of projects. It's just up to us. How are we gonna get and find the right person? What are the common mistakes that business owner makes on doing this application
For the
for
certification,
applying the certification? Yes, maybe missing documents or right.
correct. Missing documents, um, not only missing documents, but
Mm-hmm.
documents that don't have all of the information on it. So one of the things about our company, what we do is make sure that all I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
Mm-hmm.
When you submit your papers to us, we look through them because they are going to look to make sure that if it says you need 3 references, if you only turned in 2 references, it could be something as simple as that, that there needs to show there need to be 3 references. If it
Mm-hmm.
says that you need to turn in your business statements and your personal statements, IRS,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for those companies that just started, that's easy, right? Because I can go and I can put that, yes, I have 3 years of personal statements, but I don't have any years of business because we just started. That's very easy to prove and to turn in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my common clients are doctors. They have their own clinics, so they could start processing that. So let's give an example for a business that they own a wife and a husband. How many percentage that the wife needs to have in able to have a woman certification for the business?
51%.
Okay, guys, please put it down in your comment section. You need to have at least 51% to have this certification. And do they have to renew every year for the certification?
Some certifications are 2 years, some are 3 years, some are
Mm-hmm.
5 years. It just
Mm-hmm.
depends on the certification.
And can they also, so there's a federal contract, which means they can do business in different states, right?
So there's federal, which is going to be sam.gov. Now that one does have to be renewed every year, but that is
Mm-hmm.
specifically for federal contracts. So
Mm-hmm.
federal, that can be Department of Defense, that can be any of
Mm-hmm.
the armed forces. Those are going to be your federal contracts. Your state and local are going to be cities, ISDs, counties, universities. Those are
Mm-hmm.
going to fall in your, or hospitals. Those are going to fall in your state and local.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's why with Gloria's situation that they're married, it needs to be 51%, and it just so happened Gloria is also a veteran that could also be processed, and then also there's if veteran disabled minority if she's belong to the minority group, and then how long does the process works for the federal
The federal,
for the certification? Yes.
it can take about 30 to 45 days. Sometimes I've seen it sooner, some it takes a little bit longer. It just
Mm-hmm.
depends. One of the things that I do want them to know is when they do start that process, or whether they start it or our company starts the process for them, is they're going to have to pay close attention to their email. Because what's going to happen is it's kind of done in 2 to 3 parts. And when
Mm-hmm.
part one is done, they're going to send an email. And in that email, it's going to state you have 72 hours to submit the information that they're asking for.
Oh, all
And if you
right.
don't submit that information in those 72 hours, they will close your case and you will have to start all over.
Okay, guys, this is a very time sensitive manner. So because it's very important that you have a consultant taking care of this because it's so complex, especially with the healthcare that we don't understand the jargon of the terms on this one, the NAICS code, the SIC North American Industry Classification Code. This could be complex because I've been seeing all of this whenever we do the tax return or accounting or bookkeeping for our clients. And then for this, we discussed about the federal contract, right? I believe that you also do and help the state and city contract, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Guys, so this is very important for you to know. So speaking of, let's say, given an example, like Gloria, she has a clinic together with her husband, but then they decided to expand. Maybe they buy medical plazas that they would like to rent it out or lease. You guys, this company, Gloria can apply different federal contract on different entities of her company.
Correct.
Very
Different
good.
contracts. Even for nurses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Traveling nurses, especially.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yes. So what can happen is, let's say there is a state of emergency, and FEMA, which is going to be federal, could be
Mm-hmm.
looking for traveling nurses. Um, in that
Mm.
system. So that is a federal contract. They could be looking for, in this case, the different clinics. That's a federal contract that you can get with FEMA. So they may be sending those that need aid to that specific
Wow.
clinic in that specific area.
Yeah, that I never thought about that. That you could also that FEMA that. So, but I want to clarify something. Do they need to be a PLLC, or what if they're just individual person like Gloria Waikoko without any company, or does she needs to have a company?
She can't be an individual. She needs to
Oh,
have a
okay.
company, right? It can be an LLC, a PLC, it can be S corp. It needs to just be a business entity. It can't be based on your social security number. Like, it can't just be,
Yeah.
because at that
That.
point it's considered a
Mm-hmm.
hobby or a side job, something in that nature.
Exactly. Yeah. So the guys, it's very important for you to remember that you are applying in behalf of your company. You need to have your employer's identification number in able to start with the process. And then also with this, what are the basic requirements for them to keep in mind whenever they're gonna go to you to start the process?
The basic requirements depends on where they're coming to me. Are they coming to me from the very beginning, like they haven't even set up their LLC? In that
Mm-hmm.
case, of course, we're going to need a couple of different names, because we're going to have to try to go with the Texas Secretary of State to make
Right.
sure those names are available. I'll tell them to
Mm-hmm.
give them to me in order 1, 2, and 3, how they want them, and if any of those are available, those are the names that we will use. At that
Mm-hmm.
point, we need to then establish an EIN. So 48 hours
Mm-hmm.
after they've gotten their LLC formation paperwork, we can then apply for their EIN.
Mm-hmm.
Once they have their EIN, now they can open up a business bank account. Now, all these
Mm-hmm.
things are going to be needed even to start bidding on government contracts. You're going to need to make sure
Mm-hmm.
you have your LLC, you're going to have an EIN and a business bank account. Those are the bare minimal things that we're going to need to even get started.
Yeah, that's bare minimum. But guys, if you're starting a company, it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. So you really need to have a consultant that have more than tons of years of experience doing this to avoid mistakes. All right, because mistakes can be really costly. So we only discuss about the certification. Just a reminder to our nurse, founder, and healthcare professionals, or nurses and founders in healthcare, the certification is one process, but the bidding is another, right? Do you
Yeah.
highly suggest to have a separate email when they get approved with all the certifications?
Absolutely. So once you're getting ready to do the bidding and you start to register in those vendor portals, you're going to want a a separate email. And not only a separate email, you're going to want a business email, not a
Mm-hmm.
Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh.
reason why you're going to want a business email is one, it certifies you as a business.
Mm-hmm.
And two, the other thing is you're going to get emails that inundated with information and bids. So you don't want your personal email or a different email just inundated, because then you can't cipher through which ones are bids and what is other things that are coming through. So it is highly, highly, highly recommended to have an email designated just for the different government contract, the bids, the
Yeah,
bidding.
and also what we experience with this, there's also a deadline on bidding, right? So that's the reason what Miss Lashanda was telling. You need to have a separate email that's not mixed up with your business or regular email. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct, because when you see those RFPs, that's request for proposals, come in there, whether my company is looking through them or you are, there are going to be deadlines. There are going to be mandatory meetings that you may have to attend. There are going to be question Q&A answer deadlines, where that means that they may tell you you can read through it and you may have Q&A questions. You have until a certain date to submit those questions and they will get you those answers back. If you ask for questions afterwards, they're not going to answer your questions. So
Yes.
there are going to
Mhm.
be some things when it comes to the mandatory meetings. Some of these RFPs will say you need to either do a walkthrough, whether it's going to be virtual or in person. And if it
Mhm.
says mandatory, if you are not in that meeting, whether virtual or in person, and signed in, and it's time to turn in the bid and it's time to look at who's done whatever, you will automatically get thrown out. No matter
Mhm.
how great your proposal is, you will get thrown out because you did not attend that mandatory meeting. So that's an automatic disqualification.
Yeah, so that's why if you snooze, you lose on this kind of opportunity. That's why I can't imagine like when so many people are paying digital ads. They're paying like $10,000, 5,000 just to be visible in Google and digital marketing. But I really highly suggest, because this is a government benefit that you are missing a billion of dollar or millions of dollar a project. Might as well get the certification first, right? Get those certifications, and then when you have it, you have a separate email. And then also, aside from the federal contract, the state certification, is it there's a lot of certification need to be done on the state?
Well, what I would say also is, even if you don't have your certifications, we can still start the bidding process for you and the registering of the vendors, because the
Mm,
certification process itself can take 90 days or more. So
mm,
you don't want to not start registering as a vendor to start being able to bid on contracts without this, if you don't have the certification. So
right.
start one process and we can do them simultaneously.
Yes.
That way you can start seeing the bids come in, you can start bidding on them, and we'll know that the certifications are in process. Now, once you get the certifications, we just go back in to those vendor portals, you add that you have those certifications, and now you just again have that leg up. But do not start the bidding process if you
Hmm.
don't have your certifications, because
Yes,
not
guys.
everybody can qualify for certifications as well.
That's true. Yeah, because I've been with this through my company, and there's different numbers, DUNS numbers, the CMB numbers, hub zone. Guy, it's so complex. I already find it complicated. How much more in a healthcare industry, right? And even by the way, before you forget, even the city, you guys can help them to get contract for the city.
Yes,
Okay.
cities, ISDs, universities, hospitals,
Mm-hmm.
counties, all of that. Now, all those are different entities. So if you say, I want to do business in Dallas, then when you register for those entities, it can't just be a Dallas. You're going to have to register with the city of Dallas. You're going to have to register with Dallas County. You'd
Mm-hmm.
register with Dallas ISD. So each thing, you'd register with Parkland, you'd register with UT. Like all of those are their own entities.
Yeah, because when I assess this, we've been dealing with a lot of books with the tax compliance. The downfall about this is there's so many paperworks, but it can be done if you have the right person. That's
Yes.
why I say like you pay digital ads. You know, there's so many AI spams right now. Like you put your number out there, so many people are calling you from digital ads. So many people are offering that they are the expert of what they do, but they don't really focus on this. Please, guys, focus. There's tons of money on the government. All you have to do is to connect to the right people. So this is not just a theory. This is a practical insight that can help healthcare entrepreneurs think bigger, right? So guys, if you have more questions, we have Lashenda. We provided the information here. You can find it on LinkedIn. You can find her on Facebook. and you can just type the company, right?
Right.
So
And
do
I
you
do
have?
offer free consultations. So,
Yeah, there you go. So she's offering that's pre-consultation. That's why here in Nurse Founder Forum, we are bringing you the different consultants that you need to help grow your business. Because there's one question before that, they said, "Oh, how much marketing budget that we need?" I said, "Do not focus on marketing budget. Focus on government contract for the meantime, because that's the most cost effective but more effective, right?" And then on the pace of certification, because it can be overwhelming on the bidding. Lashanda, do you also provide that you would be able to filter out which one that they can apply and which one cannot?
yes, so our company also reviews the
Mm-hmm.
RFPs prior to
Mm-hmm.
even deciding that you're going to bid on it. And then in that, you're going to get a sheet basically that says a checklist. Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Have you done this? Have you done this?
Mm-hmm.
Or can you get this before the deadline? So we'll go through that and see what your percentage is based on a scale and see where you sit. And if you sit at 50% or 30%, I'm gonna be like, first, let's look and see if you can get these things prior to the deadline. If not, it's not even worth us, yourself or us, even trying to bid on the actual RFP.
That's amazing, guys. So basically, just have a free consultation. She's providing it. She can do virtual. Even we are both in Dallas. You don't need to be in Dallas, right?
Nope,
Okay, there you
nationwide.
go. Yeah, nationwide. And before anything else, we are bringing the different expert and the Nurse Founder Forum. We are building a community of nurses, allied healthcare entrepreneurs, and healthcare industry leaders focused on growth, leadership, business, and impact. Guys, I'm just have to plug this in, and we're gonna do more strategic partnership with Lashanda. This is you cannot find easily having a reliable person doing all these contracts. But before anything else, I would like to plug in. This is our upcoming event. If you haven't found us yet, please join our Facebook group, Nurse Founder Forum. But every Tuesday and 7 p.m. Central Time, we are having a live chat. On June 2, we have managing and retaining talents in hospital industries. So same channel, like same page. Follow Lashanda, follow me. And then also on June 25, we're bringing the lawyer that represents nurses in this front of Board of Nursing. This is going to be in person from 3 to 8 p.m. We are bringing attorney Deborah Goodall. She's representing nurses since 1997. So if you haven't check this out, and then make sure this is one big thing that we're doing here in Dallas, the first ever annual Nurse Founder Forum Conference and Summit. This is a whole day event. So if you want to know more about this, just type or text partner to 213-724-0790, or book us online on ycotax.com. Okay, there you go. So now, as we are closing, thank you. Do you have any plug in, any upcoming workshops that you have that you would like to promote?
No, not really. Oh, actually, I
Mm-hmm.
take that back.
Mm-hmm.
On June 17th at the Constellation Club, I have a women's executive meeting. And so, any women, any of you nurses,
Mm-hmm.
women nurses, please come out, or anyone in the healthcare that is a woman. And we are just kind of women getting together to network. And this particular theme for the June 17th meeting
Mm-hmm.
is just wisdom and wellness. And we're just going to have a couple of round tables and yeah,
Yeah, well, you guys be part of it. You want to know more, just contact Miss Lashanda for this information if
please.
you're in Dallas. Yeah, I love Constellation Club. I haven't been there for a while, but I'm sure to be back. It's there's so many things to do, but as we see the progress of other healthcare professionals becoming entrepreneurs, it's a sigh of relief. So that's why, again,
Yeah.
guys, before I always believe that the power or your net worth is based on your network. So that's why connect, find the most valuable people, and then always connect with them and learn them and how we can make things happen. Again, in healthcare professionals, in Nurse Founder Forum, you just don't deserve more than burnout and survival mode. You need to have a team. You need to have the community, and that's why the Nurse Founder Forum is here for. Again, this is Christopher Waikoho, the chairman for the Nurse Founder Forum, and we'll talk to you and see you soon. Stay safe.